during Charleston White's interview with Say Cheese. Some of the things that he accused you of during this interview. He accused you of leaving him in the 60s. He accused you of needing an Uber to get to Nipsey Hussle's funeral. They believe you criticized how you were dressed. Is there, can you kind of walk me through that day or you know what I'm saying, kind of address some of these things?
Well, let's talk about Uber. You look at how I'm dressed. Go look at my page or look at the Nipsey Hussle with me standing next to Sam, his brother, and London when they come in. I'm up front row. We didn't have no Uber. We had Sprinters, limousines, and everything else over there. But we let the younger generation experience that, and we took regular cars and we caravaned it. Charleston White with me, Cappuccino, all the ones he ended up coming back talking about later that they embraced him, and he acting like he was around all this gang activity and this murder intrigue. So when we got there, and you can look on my page, we got in through the VIP, but he broke off with Rayshana Washington, and he went on up in the rafters. He's never was around looking at the funeral or nothing. They was up there, asked Rayshana. So then when we come back, he ride back with the other ones. They drinking, I don't drink. They drinking, having fun. So I had another engagement, and I went on, and they went on. He said, I'm cool here, man. I'm going to ride with Psycho Mike and them. And then later on that night, he called me and told me, I'm all right, man. We had a good time. The OGs is cool, and that's how that went. So that's not true.
Now, in his interview, he also claims that he gave you some speaking engagements or something when he was out here.
Not true. What he gonna give me a speaking engagement for, and he knows nobody out here to talk to? I hooked him up with Althea Moses. We can call her on the phone. See, this the problem.
And he said you got that. Did she stop talking to you?
That's
for
not
him?
true. She never even know. If you asked her who it is and asked him his name, she wouldn't know his name. But asked her who my name is. I did movies with Althea Moses, dating back to where I interviewed her when I had my own show called Voices from the Street for KPFK, which is a radio station where I had prime shot and was the #1 listened to. So that's not true. He didn't know Althea Moses, but what did happen, me and him put a program. In fact, look on my Facebook page, the one they shut down, but you still can look. And look up 2018 and 19, and you'll see me and Althea Moses with Charleston White is the one behind the camera doing the filming where we announced the program. So he did write a curriculum, which we wrote together. But she didn't get no funding from it or nothing. So that's not true. She didn't quit talking to me. In fact, I talk to her all the time to this day. So that's a lie. And we can call her. So let's do that.
Okay, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in this interview, they bring up the robbery that when Charleston White was robbed when he was out here. Now, we first spoke about it on my show probably, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 months ago or something, is when you originally came out and talked about it. But you also went on No Jumper and told the same story again. Now, he continues to deny that he got robbed. And one of the reasons that he says, one of the reasons that he gives to explain that he didn't get robbed was, what did he get robbed for? Like it says he didn't have nothing to get robbed for.
Well, that's like him saying he came down in disguise like Detective Heacock or somebody to where this is the Pink Panther where you can come and slither through L.A. That's his version. But this is what happened in L.A. and anywhere across America where people going to say, he came, you seen my video when he first came to meet me, and he said, I'm a fan of yours. He come in the cowboy boots, the cowboy hats, and I hear him say, oh, don't nobody dress like that in L.A. I tricked him. That's not true. Y'all ain't heard of the Black Rodeo Association or the Black Cowboys in Compton or all over. You got a lot of cowboys that run around in L.A. But this is the flip side of dressing like he did, with a scarecrow hat on, looking like out of Mr. Wizard or a movie or a character out of Brokeback Mountain. It's what the inner city will do. It's ask you where you from and let me see your ID, because what the inner city gonna look at him as is a police. So that point about you was walking around and being around nothing, that's not true. Now let's talk about him saying that he didn't get robbed. First of all, ain't nobody asked me how I hear about that. It ain't but two things that could happen. Either I was involved or either somebody told me. Charleston White told me. So if he want to say that's happened, fine. I'm only repeating what he told me that happened. Now he say, oh, what I would be robbed for, I didn't have nothing. That's not true. Don't forget, in another interview, he was slanging marijuana from, I ain't gonna say what he was doing, but he was got a plug from me, to where he was buying a pound. Then he bought another one. Then he stopped messing with the people I introduced himself to, and started going to some other people he met over a bowl of soup, and he went big, and they took him down. So when he telling me, he'd say, man, I got something to tell you. I say, what, man? He say, I got hit. I say, you got hit? Was it a big sting or a little sting? I told you, don't mess with nobody else, man. They'll put you to sleep out here where you think that's cool, that's cool. Then when you up the ante, they got to take you down. I told him this. And he said it was kind of big. So I say, did you have the money from the dudes off the yacht? He say, yeah, and they mad at me. And then he told me a little bit about how they handcuffed him. I just say, whatever, but that's what happened. Then he told me about how they went out the back door, and that was pretty much it. Now, as far as me, why I didn't bring it up, because I don't tell nobody business. We were still partners. It wasn't no issue, but when he went to try to assassinate my character, which y'all fail to realize, I'm the one he called when they got ready to kill him, when he thought his disguise, which he thought would get him through, when the Denver Lanes. You heard him say I had to call Melvin.
Can you talk about that? I don't think I caught that part.
Yeah, Charleston White tell on one of them pages to where, hey man, they was fit to get at me over in a certain hood, and I called Melvin and he called him, and I saved his life. And now you're gonna run your mouth about people you met through me? It's nothing personal. It's just business now. And I don't even care to even talk about him, which I'm going to be through because we have legal issues that are coming up. But for the purpose of the things, every time he lie, we're going to do a fact check. Now, you came and you seen the video. You seen it, didn't you?
Right.
Where Charleston White is on the back of it doing filming, to where you see the limos and everything else where we say we catch an Uber. Also, we hear him try to say Melvin chasing celebrities. Melvin be around every celebrity that's ever been in this town since they started being around. You talking about Sam Cooke, Diana Ross. I used to go with Chaka Khan's daughter cousin in 1971. That's James Harden, mother to this day, the NB star. Ask Monya Willis. So y'all act like this nothing new. It was three things going on out here: Soul Train, gangbanging, and pop locking. And the gangbangers were the rock stars that they still talk about today. So all that, I don't chase nobody. We replace them. So that's a lie. And every picture we took, he was behind the camera because he wasn't capable of being on no picture. They didn't know him. He didn't walk through no lines of jungles and tigers and bears to where he was slithering through. And about the lady that told him don't mess with Melvin, that's a lie. Have her call her and say, do she know Melvin Farmer? I won every award they got in here. Don't have National Alliance for Positive Action, NAPA. Don't have Papa's Parents Against Public Abuse. Don't have the 3 strikes. Don't work with facts. Don't work for California's cats. Don't did civil rights. Don't wrote laws. We don't did a lot of things the last 30, 40 years to give back to this community, way before the internet. So all these things they saying, these one-sided opinions and all that, let's step to the mic. I'm ready to go and say cheese with Charleston White or any of them that hide behind the mic. It's too much propaganda on here where nobody get fact checked to where they think just what they say, that's how it go. But ain't nobody did nothing. Ain't nobody thinking about Charleston White.